I like turtles.
This is something that's definitely weird to look back on. Around 10 years ago, I was actually on the news at one point. No, I did not do something that resulted into me being featured on the news for anything negative or doing something so overwhelmingly positive or negative that they had to put me on the news, but it was because I was actually in a therapy program as a child that got featured on CNN. The significance to this whole therapy program was I have already stated publicly, like once or twice in the past, that I'm someone on the autism spectrum. And around the time I was actually in this program, this was when I left a school district that I'm not going to name that actually treated me very poorly. They did not give me the help and resources that I needed to actually improve myself and be a functioning human in society. And during the time when I was leaving that district and entering a new one, I was going to a therapy program. And actually in this video, you might actually recognize someone who I actually still make videos with to this day. But the whole significance to this was it was a program that was to help me and a friend of mine cope with being bullied and also help with our own emotions. This is something that is genuinely weird for me to think about, because at times I actually thought about making this video, but I was not actually able to find the actual video itself, and I actually thought that CNN might have taken it down, or they might have never uploaded it in the first place, so I wasn't totally sure. And I've had times where people would tell me, oh yeah, they found it, so I knew it was still around. So we're gonna hop over to their YouTube channel, because the way to find it was actually not how I would expect. So I found the video by clicking the magnifying glass, and I type in my legal name, which is Colin Horton. Yeah, shocker, my last name's not Dagny. Ooh. When you type in, oh, that's weird, wait, what if I do it in, I know I typed in my name. Oh my god, I think they actually took it down as I'm recording this. Don't worry, because I have a backup. I actually managed to get it saved, so I could have it archived just so I can at least have something to show that I was once on CNN. Keep in mind that this video is almost 10 years, because this was uploaded on December 9th of 2010. I'm gonna rewatch this video after not seeing it for almost a decade, and I'm gonna share my thoughts at the very end. We're about to go through an experience together, let me tell you.
Hi everybody, how was your week at school?
A simple question, but in this Mamaroneck, New York class, some troubling answers.
I keep getting bugged by this kid.
I can't believe that was my voice back then.
I keep getting bugged by this kid.
You know, a lot can happen in 10 years. I'm not even cringing, it's more of realizing like, wow, 2010 was a long time ago.
And what is he saying to you?
He was saying like swear words at me, and he keeps trying to punch me in the face.
So he's here to get some.
I remember the interview. I did not remember that's what I said. Like, I don't remember a lot of these details. This is like a fever dream I'm watching right now. I remember what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I was referring to. That there was this one kid that would keep bullying me, and around this time, there was a kid that, like, straight up, like, punched me in the face in the middle of the hallway, because I got into a disagreement with him, because he was just like, hey, Tubby, go carry my bags for me, and I said no, and I ended up getting shoved into the wall, whacked right in the face. So, that was fairly somewhat current at that time.
11-year-olds Michael Cohen and Colin Horton are no...
I bet Michael's gonna hate me for this, but if you ever see my other channel, PopDrop, that's the same Michael that helped build PopDrop with me. I think this video is genuine proof that we've been friends for a very long time, and this shows that we've been friends for over a decade. This was even before I made YouTube videos, Jesus Christ.
In school, we've been picked on so many times.
Beaten up, bullied, and most of all, name calling.
I'm not trying to make fun of me or Michael. It's just one of those feelings where it's like, oh my god, this is what we sounded like. Nothing wrong with that. I remember the room very vividly, and I barely remember part of the interview. I remembered it was a short interview.
And they have something else in common. a diagnosis of high-functioning autism. Their mothers say it makes them targets.
What, as parents, as mothers, goes through your head when you have to deal with this? You just want to run and protect them, or run to the school and scream at someone.
Okay, let's practice again. 1, 2, 3. A lot of children who are on the spectrum just tend to take it, you know, or they'll fight back, but physically fight back. They just don't have the right skills or techniques. They don't know what to do.
Teachers Susan Hendler and Monica Weber started a company, Sociable Kids, to give these students the tools they need to face bullies in school.
What we're going to do now is we're going to practice using our I statements. Like, I am upset with you. I don't like.
Why am I tired?
What are some other coping mechanisms that you give the kids here to deal with if they're being picked on at school?
We have mirrors, so we look in front of a mirror, because sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you don't know what you look like, and so they practice that over and over.
I don't really like what you did, so I want you to stop.
Excellent.
They also practice through role-playing.
I want you.
I forgot about the role-playing thing.
Environment, you know, they know, okay, I'm not going through this. I'm not the only one that's experiencing this.
Colin and Michael's moms say the classes are making a difference.
They're helping him believe in himself and not believe all of the bad things.
It's really helped Michael to stop and think before he reacts.
Michael says he's already tried out his I statements at school.
I said, I don't like what you're saying. So if you hate me a lot, why don't you leave me alone then?
Did it work?
A little.
I'm gonna be honest, that was a very honest statement, I would say. Because I will say, I will give Michael credit. He actually, like, would try to use his words more. Because, like, especially keep in mind, when we were younger, we had no idea exactly how to fully process, like, our emotions, or, like, how to properly act in certain situations. Because both Michael and I, we both became best friends because we would have, like, this pent-up frustration at other kids picking on us, that we would all of a sudden just start, like, yelling at them, screaming at them, and then we get to the point where we would actually start a fight. Like, that's the point where we were at that age. Well, no, correction. That was a point where we were actually making changes at that age. That is definitely something weird to look back on. Especially, like, when I look back on the video, the whole thing with, like, the mirrors and, like, the role-playing part, that was definitely something. I don't want to say anything negative towards Susan or Sociable Kids, but just, I remembered that was definitely something I was kind of just uncomfortable to do, but I just kind of felt like the environment was a nice environment to be in, because there were occasions where we would just have a session where we're just in the room, and either we're being very creative, we're socializing with each other, and we've learned to... We've learned a lot more when it came to social cues, and I think that is definitely something that has helped me out a lot. I mean, that's kind of just the whole gist of what I was trying to say. And that whole experience was definitely a bit nerve-wracking, I remembered as a kid, because I just remembered, like, wow, I'm going to be on TV. That's scary. But I remembered one thing that was definitely nice was... when we were getting ready for the interview, we got to meet the person who was giving us the brief interview, and we also got to meet the cameraman, which, very nice man, and just, you know, very happy, very positive, which I wish I still had it, but he actually gave Michael and I camouflage CNN hats, and for a while, we actually used to, like, treasure that thing like dear life, just remembering, like, we were once on the news. Which, sadly, we lost our CNN hats, because we both don't even know wherever they went. I hope mine is actually somewhere in this house, but I haven't seen it, God, for like almost a decade now. I will say, like, I have not talked to Susan for a very long time. And, because I think, like, around a year after when that news story came out, that's when I was no longer... in her program, because I left not too long, I think, after that interview. On occasion growing up, I've actually kind of just thought, like, I wonder how she's doing, or I wonder if the program is still around. I don't know if the program is still around, but I will say Susan was definitely very positive and very helpful when it came to actually helping out with issues that I've had growing up. And I could tell you now, even though after that interview, I've still had certain issues when it came to dealing with issues with other kids, one thing I could definitely say was 2 years after that, I definitely learned a lot more about using your words and also not fighting people. Correction, when I'm saying not using your words or using your words, I wouldn't be like, I do not like the way you are talking to me. It would just be more like, what's your problem, dude? Are you just gonna waste your time trying to get into a fight with me? Because I have the time. But that was definitely a positive step in the right direction. I'm actually glad I archived this when I did. Because, like, I wonder what just happened. Like, it seems like they took it down. But I thought this video would have been a nice video to make because I thought it would have been something nice to publish just so I could at least say, like, I'm also someone on the autism spectrum, to at least be a bit positive about it, just saying, not everyone on the autism spectrum is really what stereotypes make us out to be. All right, we're not people who can't talk. We're not people who are easily emotional. Because a lot of us on the autism spectrum can pass or be completely functional human beings. And many people could grow up their entire lives not even knowing that they are, in fact, on the autism spectrum. And that was kind of my whole point of making this video. And also, I thought this would have been very appropriate, especially since that this video is almost 10 years old. So I thought this would have been kind of a nice video to make, just kind of seeing, like, whatever happened to me 10 years after when I was on the news. I wasn't joking about that. I genuinely was actually on the news. And I guess now I have the video to prove it, and I also have the archived video. So at least that is a piece of my history I could always have with me. And to, I guess, share it to some of my other relatives. And other people in my life.